Hi there, everyone. It's time for practice time with Ms. Rhona. My name is Rhona-Mae Arca, and I'm a registered music teacher in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. If you're just tuning in for the first time, this is a series where once a week I open up my practice room to the world, going through some of the stuff I'm working on and my students, and sharing some practice ideas and tips along the way. What else? Practice hacks, demonstrations, practice strategies, that type of thing. So whether or not you are playing these pieces or you're playing something similar style, hopefully you get something out of it. Now, if you're not one of my students, go ahead, try some of these ideas. That's why I'm sharing, but also discuss them with your teacher and see if you can modify it and make it work for you. Okay, so the theme for this week is piano etudes. And before we get started with that, I've got to find my other screen here that I've got to share. My due diligence screen here. So that is the affiliate disclaimer, of course. The books, I have links down to the books and sheet music, and those are affiliate links, so full disclosure. And then the Copyright Act of Canada, fair use disclaimer. So this is all for educational purposes. Copyright belongs to the respective copyright holders. We are, once again, as I stress, educational purposes. So we will start with this piece. So what can I say about this piece? It's an interesting piece. So I guess a little bit about etudes before we get going with this. An etude, it's based on the French word étudier, so to study. And as far as music goes, an etude or a study, it presents a technical challenge. All of them provide a technical challenge. So, if you have problems with staccato, don't be surprised if your teacher throws a staccato piece at you. If changing articulations frequently is a challenge, you're probably going to have to do a study based on that and level up your skills in that regard. All right, so grade 4 piece, it is actually for right hand alone. So there is a growing body of repertoire for one hand. So people have injuries, people get strokes, all sorts of things. So it's good that the music is there. And like I said, it's a growing body of works. I've got a student working on this right now. She's awaiting surgery for her left shoulder. So we've been doing one-hand pieces or modifying. This is actually her first dedicated piece for one hand alone at this level. I have some easier pieces, but this is her challenge piece. The technical challenge is this. You've got your harmony underneath and then your melody on top. I wish I could change the color. I don't think it's letting me. I'll circle the melody. So your melody on top. So technical challenge would be to bring out that melody and not have the harmony underneath drowning it out, all with one hand. People who are having pedaling challenges, well, this is a good pedal etude as well. So I would say those are the two challenges with this piece. Especially once you get here and it goes pedale simile, so copy and paste pedaling, just, I don't know why they didn't just put it in for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars, like, oh well. And then it just got added here where it starts to get a little bit different. So now, even though here at the bottom you're down in the bass clef, that's still one hand. You've got a bit of finger substitution there to worry about. So you start playing the note. I'm going to have to erase that. That's you start with playing that F with finger 4, but while holding it down, you switch and play finger 5. That's all that means. Let's deal with that first line there. Okay, so for this, I've decided to do the pedal cam and the overhead camera. I think that would be the most useful view for you guys. So one thing to really work on would be just bringing out that melody. So a lot of repetition there, then it changes. So you could break it down and just work on one component at a time. The challenge is this. So what I'm doing here, actually I'm going to kill the pedal for a sec. So this is physics for those of you who know. This is dropping down faster. And this is not going, these two fingers are not going down all the way. And I'm kind of twisting my hand a little bit, literally making it harder for these two normally strong fingers to actually play strongly. And channeling more of my arm weight towards the weak finger 4. Okay. And then hopefully you can see that I'm also lifting a little bit. So we are not limited to just playing like this. We can play like this, we can play like this, we can round out chords. So explore that, where we're not meant to lock ourselves. Oh my gosh, this is sounding like martial arts class. Yeah, don't lock joints. Be flexible. Hard to curve that. So if you're having challenges curving, I mean, it's kind of hard on a black note too, but you can grab your pinky at the pinky note just to get a tiny curve. Okay, let's deal with that pedal. Up, down. Up, down. Up, down. Up, down. So this is legato or syncopated pedaling. The one we do 90% of the time. I forgot to change that pedal. And the sequence continues. I forgot to change that pedal. Dang it! Change there. That's so not right. You can also bring that out a bit more by throwing more of your arm weight into it. So I'm just going to switch cameras here. Give me a sec. And you can see what that looks like from the side view. So, oh right, no hand. So see, I'm very light, I'm not going all the way down. And sometimes I'm actually throwing this in, but leaning a bit more on finger 4 to give it a bit of strength. I missed that pedal change. There we go. So that would be the big challenge with that. So playing around with your hand positioning to make sure that you can bring out that melody. So those are my practice tips on that one. So next study. So we're gonna jump. We are jumping to the big leagues. So what is the technical challenge with the Etude in C minor? By Bertini. Well, let me get the music up here and you can hazard a guess. So you can see it's a lot of rapid passages. These are just arpeggios, to be honest. What on earth? I picked a polygon. That is so not what I wanted to pick. Okay, let me get rid of that. Okay, so yes, here we've got challenge 1. You've got different finger patterns. So that's an arpeggio. Actually, it's like what? An arpeggio until there. Well, pretty much an arpeggio. And then that's an arpeggio too. And then you've got these itty bitty, wiggly, scaly type things. So the challenge would be switching gears at that speed. Challenge 2, I would say, is, and it's not in the whole piece, but it's in parts of the piece. Just getting into one's brain that the strong beat is a rest. The left hand's got it. This you cannot accent, otherwise the ear gets very confused. Is the left hand playing beat 1 or is the right hand playing beat 1? So the easiest way to get around that is, just do a crescendo. Start soft, diminuendo there. That's my tip on that. That's how I teach it. Next challenge, so we've got, let's recall, so we got like arpeggiated patterns, and then we've got scaly bit pattern, but it's kind of zigzaggy, and the left hand kind of goes, it's got a sequence. Yeah. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to do a walkthrough of a harmony question one of these days. But, and then, more wiggly bits again, and then it comes back. So switching gears, I'd say, is a big challenge with this piece. For sure. So how to practice this? Oh, speed's going to be the other big challenge, too. So, grouping forwards drill is really good. And really getting the pattern. And then up an octave, and up one more octave. That's it there, but let's add one. And then this is a different pattern, repeating. So memorizing those patterns, and then you don't have to look at the music. It'll be way easier to get the speed. So the other challenge would just be playing evenly. Do I have to clip my nails again? Dang it. So really get to know those patterns. And then that pattern just repeats, but in F minor. And then comes back down. So that would be one way to really, really work on that opening section. Once we get to, bar 6. So take a look at bar 6. Well, there's still that pattern again. So you've got, and then it repeats an octave lower. And then changes. And then we've got this pattern that's a little different, so. Be mindful of the fingering. That's the other thing my student and I are working on. And then the pattern changes a bit to straight up scale. See if you can figure out what scale that is. Okay. So yeah, fingering's going to be the other challenge. This has got several challenges. I'm just checking to see. Sometimes the RCM books actually spell out what the big challenge is. Oh, not here. Sometimes they. So how to practice that? Okay, we've gone through moving up the octaves. When you're dealing with speed, group it in small bits and then just add a little bit more. How would I practice this part? I'd go in like that little unit or motive and then try the next bit. So yeah, breaking that down into smaller chunks. Really paying attention to that line. Seriously, I'm not keen on that fingering, but it's doable. Oh, it would help if I had the A flat. So I'm making a funny face because that is awkward. So a small hand tweak I would do. Okay, we got that. I think I would switch that to finger 3 and go 2, 1. I don't know, because you could have finger 1 on that F sharp and then just slide down. But you'll have to kind of reverse engineer it to see what fingering would be good beyond that. So that would be how I would drill those sections. Bar 11 and a beat 4. So. So I'm going to start with what they give us. I really don't like that in the left hand. Okay. So. Kind of funky looking, but okay, here, let's give you that spotlight that overhead. So the issue is like, how do you get that smooth with these hands? No. I really, that would be far easier with my hands. I'll have to check my students' hands to see if we need to make similar adjustments. But okay, so if I did that, then I'd say maybe finger 2 on the F instead of the 1. Oh, actually, you guys cannot see that fingering. There you go. So taking a look at this spot here. So with the way that's fingered there, it is a bit awkward. In the hand. So, I know it's fast, but that works. So if I do that, then I think finger 1 or finger 2 will need to be on the F. So finger 1 would have to be on the E natural. And finger 2 will be on the E flat anyway from the previous line. So see, I can do that way more legato that way. So that thumb slide. That's what I would do there. Okay, I'm just going to go back to bar 9. So we'll see how that all fits together. Okay, so I'm going to start beat 2 of bar 9. So I think that should be finger 4 there. So finger 3 can be on the E. Fingering's very important. Otherwise, the speed's just not going to happen well. So this is where I've changed. Here. Yeah, I think that fingering will work for me. And anyone else with small hands. Four should be on the E flat, it says. 5, 4. That doesn't work. So with the way it's fingered, it wants finger 4 on the E flat, which makes finger 5 take the F, and then finger 4 again will take the E flat. And then D is supposed to be with finger 3, but then C is also finger 3, and you're supposed to play legato, so that doesn't make sense. So, yeah, for those who have small hands, this was taught to me in university, the whole finger sliding technique. So, I lost my place, okay. That's not where I was. Where was I? Oh, there, yeah, it was there. Could do that. There's a few different fingerings that can be done with bar 14. This is what's written. But that's not very legato with the... So... Could go thumb. At that speed, that might work. Fine. So thumb on the C. Could do. So the finger slidey thing again. What else could we do? No, I already mentioned that, didn't I? No. Yeah, I think those are the two best options. So definitely it is worth exploring other fingering to see what works. Because this doesn't really work for legato. That works, but I think the one that I would recommend, it would be 1, and that's the only change. Yeah. I think that would be it. So that's a look at that. Couple of practice ideas for that piece. Last one we are going to take a peek at today is a grade 10 study. So this is on the list because, yeah, this one's got quite a challenge. So you've got octaves. Let's get the music here so you can take a peek. So one big challenge is, well, just to give you an idea of the whole page. So now let's zoom in a bit. So this is a long time for you to be playing marcato and the staccatos at a fast-ish speed. So that's technical challenge 1. Technical challenge 2 is in the left hand. So with octaves, like legato octaves there. That's technical challenge there. And then all of these. I mean, staccato octaves, piece of cake, really. Getting these articulations, oh, sopra, yeah. The changes. And then for my student, this is a bit of a challenge, these big 4-note chords. So just trying to get those, doable. So we'll take a quick peek at various ways, because I've been trying to get this also to the point where I can record it. So the big thing with all this repeated stuff here, I'm just going to jump to, I don't know, okay, yeah, line 1, because why not? Don't play it with your whole arm. It's a joint that you won't have the speed. And you'll get tired really quickly, so just bouncing in from the wrist. This takes up way too much energy, too many muscles. This, you're basically just relaxing into it. Let's take a look at, you can hear that was fairly light. So that would be the plan of attack, like here in that section. To also just nice and loud. Yeah, it is loud. Yeah, it is supposed to be loud, but you can play around with fingering there too. So they don't all have to be equally loud. That's the other thing. I mean, what's the most important thing in that section? I'd say the left hand. So this could be, think about the beat pattern for quadruple time. So strong, weak, medium, weak. Although there is a little bit of syncopation there because the 2 chord is, or the second beat is loud. So you can make that loud, explosive. I should be looking at, the part that's easier for me to look at. Here we go. Okay, so we got there. So. Yeah, now how do we get... that's written as legato, but... The finger switching doesn't work really well when it's fast, so the whole just dragging your hand across the keys would be my plan of attack for this section. So we got. So I'm also just putting like a bit of an oomph on the beginning of the triplet and then just relaxing a bit there. Just to release the tension also. But I mean, to have this all really at the same volume level that's going to hurt the ears. This piece would also require lots of stretching beforehand, so I did not do that. My right hand is not happy with that whole trying to get this. Yeah, I'd say that's the easiest way to get it close to legato sounding is just drag your hands across the keys. Now, the other thing too, just to save the arm there, play around with different fingering, twisting the hand, like we discussed with other pieces in previous sessions. But yeah, just you don't even need to play the notes. You can just go through the motions and maybe start small and gradually stretch. But a lot of it's going to come down to stretching these muscles to support the tendons and the ligaments. That would be my advice for that section of that piece. That's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed that look into 3 very different piano etudes with 3 very different sets of challenges. And hopefully there's something there that you can take and apply to your own pieces. And especially if you have smaller hands. So a lot of my students and I, we've been looking at different cheats. And thank you to my university prof who, helped me out at least to start thinking in that vein so that, not killing the hands, but still achieving the sound that we think the composer had intended. Well, whatever you do this weekend, stay safe, keep warm, keep well. And if this is your first time checking out the channel, take a look at some of the other videos. There's some technique demonstrations. There's also some performances of student repertoire, a little bit for teachers as well. And we've got interviews as well with special guests. Next week, I've got 8 virtual choir singers. 9 if we include me. So that's going to be a big, massive party where we're going to talk about all things virtual choir and that crazy world. Hopefully that inspires people to try, because it doesn't have to be that complicated. And there are, we're still in the pandemic. There's going to be way more virtual ensemble projects for a while. I don't think that's going away. So hopefully you'll get some neat practice tips there. And if you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button, and be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to find out when there's new content on the channel. So catch you next time. Bye! And thanks for watching.